At 6:46, we'll be opening our budget workshop meeting. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to follow prayer? Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of prayer. Please bow your heads and close your eyes. Dear Heavenly Father, thanks for bringing us here today. Let us all get home safe and have a joyful meeting. In your name, amen. Ms. Hernandez, can you call roll for us, please?
District Treasurer?
Here.
District Attorney?
Here.
Seat 2, Chair?
Here.
Seat 5?
Present.
Seat 4?
Here.
District Engineer?
Here.
Interim Manager present. For the record, C3 and C1 are not currently here. And C3 said that he'd be here by 7, and C1, I don't know.
Okay, we are going to move forward into our budget workshop agenda to follow right behind our regular 7 o'clock meeting. Can I have a motion to approve of our agenda discussion and concerns of FY 2425 budget? Motion by Chris. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Mata. Okay, we're going to move forward into section C. So John Boy, I think that's your department.
Okay. You all have before you a tentative budget. It's exactly the same as it was the last week, last meeting, because we had several meetings on it already. But this is a chance, if anybody, whether it be Becky or any of you guys want to add something or change something. But right now, as last meeting, we're budgeting total revenues of $3,640,855. Expenditures down at the bottom of $3,547,949. So we're budgeting revenues being in excess over expenditures of $92,906. We started with a fund balance of $1,395,351. So we're projecting ending with a fund balance of $1,488,257. As far as going over the individual items, we have done that already and nothing's changed. If you don't want to go over anything else, or if you want to add or modify something, this is the time, because August meeting will be given the final budget.
I've got a question.
Okay.
It's probably for the engineer as well. And because we haven't resurfaced the road in a while, I don't believe at today's prices that resurfacing that $100,000 is going to go far resurfacing the road. And I believe the last time the previous engineer was with us, there was about at least 3 or 4 good roads that needed quite a bit of overlay done. I don't mind doing it in phases, but I well know that Horse Club area is pretty beat up from 833 to about Hacienda, as well as Hunting Club from 833 to Hacienda. Those 2 roads are in pretty bad shape as far as the underlay, as far as that foundation. I'd hate for us to keep going down and losing it, especially with all the heavy trucks that are coming in and out of the neighborhood and all the rain. So I don't know if this $100,000, if we could take this up, if it's sufficient enough. If you could let us know, because I don't know how much $100,000 goes anymore. Okay. Compared to the quotes that you have received, Becky, I don't know if it's per mile, how much we've gotten per square foot or whatever it is.
The 3 that I requested was for the mile.
1 mile?
Yes, sir.
And how much did that come out?
It was like $225.
So that 100K is not enough to do half a mile?
Yeah.
So board, it might, again, whatever you guys think, but I don't think I can say that 100,000, we're not putting a dent in it.
So where are you?
How much, do we have anything left over?
Well, right now, $92,906 left as far as the current year budget. Then we got some fund balance.
Unless we take it in a phased approach for the next 5 to 10 years or whatever, we put that 100K aside to do it and just keep doing it until we knock it all out. But the bad thing is yes, yeah,
I mean, depending on how we,
about
The
3 years
only
ago.
overlay that we've done was,
The last one was
Hacienda.
Appaloosa.
Yeah, we did Appaloosa, some of Appaloosa, and, Avenida del Club from 833 to the clubhouse, Hacienda up to, from Pinecone to Avenida del Sur, and then the second half was from Avenida del Sur to Hunting Club. When we did that, we also did Appaloosa, that one stretch, and that was it. And that was about close to 3 years ago.
I mean, we can keep it like that, board, I don't mind, but I just know if we can keep that resurfacing there for a while until we get everything at least resurfaced.
So,
we may be able to, as we go, make some line item changes. If we're under on some of these other items, we could move it into that.
so John, the money that, that came from the $100 tax increase, where did all that money get allocated to?
Well, it's just allocated to the total revenue to pay the different items that were budgeted, and spent. It's not really designated for any one thing. It's just,
So within all the increases that we're doing out of that, how much do we have left out of that? Could we allocate some of that towards the increase that Supervisor Mata's speaking about?
yes, this year we're doing pretty well, which I was going to cover in my treasurer's report, but there may be some excess revenue left over, from this fiscal year ending 2024. And
If I may, keep in mind too, we have our auditor here. And if you remember last year, we had a depleted reserve.
Oh,
So part of that money is also reestablishing
Correct.
that reserve. So it's not like it's all available to be spent.
Sure.
yeah, but if we could find out how much of that we have left over and designate it to maybe that.
Well, if we take it, if you could find out what approach that we need to take. So like for instance, and again, today's prices are not tomorrow's prices, right? So let's just say the prices you have now, let's say half a mile is 100,000. So we know within the next, if we have 5 miles to do, we know, hey, we have to allocate this much funds for the next 5 or 6 years, hoping that we can keep a decent price.
right.
Because again, if we don't, these roads are getting, a lot of people are moving up and down these roads.
A lot of local areas are growing, so they're increasing increasing in taxes due to high fluctuation of traffic, and it's the unbearable truth. We may have to look into that option, or we may have to do what other districts do and do a 4 or 5 year loan, how they did on the reservoir, and then we just paid over time to get the project done and complete all at one big time. But then it's the maintenance costs throughout those years that we'll still have to upkeep.
I believe also some of this stuff is coming off the books as well.
Yes.
Some of this capital equipment purchases that we did about 3 or 4 years ago is coming off. Right? Okay.
Yes.
And the other thing that I know, just speaking with some county officials, there's some big projects coming near Montura Ranch, and they're definitely going to be in and out of our roads. Definitely going to be in and out of our roads.
That's good to know. All right. Any other further questions from the board? All right, we're going to move forward into. Go ahead, John.
And basically what we're doing then, we'll be approving this tentative budget to be the final budget at the next meeting.
I think from what Supervisor Mata asked our engineer to perform or to give us is some kind of outlook and cost
Right.
of what it will cost us to do the roads, to see what we will have to either increase or to cut away from some of the budget. And I think that's correct, right, Supervisor Mata?
And I think right here, I'm looking at this 390 that has to do with maintenance and rebuilding the roads. So if we come up a little short, we probably can use some of this money as well for that surface overlay, okay. Okay, I didn't see that, I just see it just now.
What we did was we left it at what we had, plus we added the resurfacing 100,000
Okay,
to this budget.
I got it,
Okay,
I see.
so then it'll offset whatever we need from that maintenance.
The only thing that I would ask the board is, so for instance, this gets approved, if we can jump on this overlay project like ASAP to begin the budget, get it out the book so we can
Do you,
lock in the prices.
just ask, do you have a ballpark of what you want to increase it to?
I just, well, Noah, I just know we have to take it in a phased approach, so whether it be 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever it might be, that we can have that funding there for these two, at the present moment, I know two bad areas.
Yes.
But in 5 years, it could be 3 or 4 more bad areas.
Yeah. So one thing I want to add to that is that we spoke about selling off some of the properties that we have that has no use.
That's true.
And that's something that we need to move on.
It's a big good
And that right there will cover,
if we had to use it there, yep.
yeah. And then that'll help get ahead. We have a lot of properties we have no use for. They're in bad locations.
I think the board already approved that to sell the,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's what we're saying is to take that into account. We need to move
Yeah.
forward on that.
I think we just have to get with, is it you or do we get with John
We'll have to get with John to see the legal
yeah.
process to it.
to that? But yeah, I think I'm 100% on board on that. And getting that, income in so that we're not increasing taxes crazy.
No.
But yeah, 100%. If there's no further discussions, we're gonna need a motion to approve it with, revision from what our engineer comes up with as in a budget out cost for the roads. But for the most part, I don't think there's any other items or anything else that any of the other supervisors want to increase or decrease, remove. So we need a motion to approve of the FY 24/25 budget.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mata. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Robert. Okay, now we're going to go and move into D, discuss purchase of new zero-turn mower.
I put that on there, because I've gotten, our zero turn at the clubhouse, we need to update it. It's like in its last, and I just kind of threw it in there, being that we do have some of these big items coming off, to be able to replace that one and the one that we have here as well. Because
Okay.
we've changed the motor out several times in the last 4 years. So I think it's time for a new one.
Okay.
But that's what I did, and I put that there. But I did wanted to touch on our mowers to our big tractors, which we've had a 3815 Bush Hog and a 3715. They've been here since, I want to say,
That's what Benny Alvarez got, is that the two little ones, the little John Deere's?
no, I'm talking about the bat wings. I'm talking about the mowers themselves that go
Okay.
connected to the big tractors that we have.
But y'all had, I remember you had the little John Deere's.
No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones that actually mow our grass.
Okay.
The gearboxes we've changed them already like several times within the last 4 years, and they get very costly. But it's time to buy new ones. And we were looking at some through John Deere, and there's other ones that you can, but that one through Bush Hog, and the John Deere ones that are coming out now, they're anywhere from 17 to 22,000. And that's why I wanted to touch on it on this
Make it,
budget.
yeah,
So,
make it an agenda
we
item.
can go ahead and start looking at that.
Is there any way you can get us quotes from John Deere? Because I know that they have zero turns and the backwing bush hog mowers that they can probably give us, a bulk price or some kind
No,
of deal.
I'm gonna bring it, but I just wanted to kind of put it
Yeah.
in the air so you guys know
Okay.
that,
So,
if we have
John
to
Boy,
do
if you don't
anything,
mind adding that as an item
it's there.
on the budget,
Okay.
so that we can see
Yes.
what it fluctuates
Correct.
to. Zero turn mowers and the batwing bush hogs.
Dollar value, that we put in there.
I'm sorry?
The
What is the
dollar
dollar
value for
value?
the zero wing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what size, and what price?
If
Is it?
I'm not wrong.
60, 48?
It's a 60. There's 60 commercial. Yeah, if you look right behind your agenda, I have a 66-inch there, yes.
We also have a general, we've got $50,000 under capital outlay equipment.
Correct,
It's not,
correct,
it's not pinpointed on anything in particular.
correct. But I just wanted to
No,
put it
I
out
know.
there so that they can understand that
Right.
these are items that are, you'll see that I'm gonna bring up to you guys, so you guys can have the, where we're going with this new year, because we're gonna need all that.
And this is the warranty stuff with it?
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing, man?
On that specific one, yes. But I'm gonna get you quotes on other ones as well.
Can you
But that
also
was the
get
first
me-
one.
Can you also get me the, horsepower size on it?
I'll see it, 35 horsepower, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Kawasaki?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just get a ballpark number over to John Boy as soon as possible, so that when he presents us our budget for next month, we have a clear layout of what is on our budget, so that we can make those critical decisions.
Yeah, I can
regarding-
add things
Yeah.
between now and the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
And then you approve them at the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
So it's under 26.
All right. If there's no further questions, concerns, or anything, I'm opening the floor for our budget workshop agenda to the public. If you guys have any questions regarding our budget, if there's no questions regarding that, we're going to be closing our budget workshop meeting for a 5-minute recess, and then we'll come back to our regular Central County Water Control District monthly meeting. Okay. I adjourn our budget workshop meeting.